we need to talk about Dricus Du Plessis. So, over the weekend at UFC 312, Dricus rematched Sean Strickland, and the first fight was extremely competitive. Many argue that Strickland won, but Strickland did eventually get the rematch, and Du Plessis dominated him. Strickland is a very, very difficult fighter to fight, and Du Plessis not only beat him, but he made it look relatively easy in the rematch. He outstruck Strickland. He did not need his grappling in this fight. He outstruck Strickland. He offensively grappled and submitted Adesanya against the cage as well. Adesanya's cage wrestling is excellent, and he out-grappled Adesanya against the fence. He, in moments, outstruck Adesanya. He went to war with Strickland, taking insane amounts of damage and pushing through. He knocked out Robert Whittaker with a jab, which is insanely impressive. And I think the main talking point is Du Plessis has improved a lot. And I don't just mean in cardio sense, right? When starting out in his UFC career, he looked kind of iffy against Trevor Giles. He looked very sloppy against Brad Tavares and against Darren Till as well. And then he got his nose fixed. And my God, that did so much for him. But we also see Du Plessis simply getting more comfortable, right? He's more relaxed now. He's not panicking when he's taking damage. He's game planning a lot better. We see him just being a lot more calculated. And while his technique may be sloppy at times, we can see that his game planning and his shot selection is actually really quite intelligent. And I think it's probably his most underrated skill. And yes, it's unorthodox and it looks a bit weird, but he's very good at getting his strikes to the target, remaining mostly defensively responsible, and doing the right things. Like, Dricus has very, very good fight IQ. Very, very underrated. Like, he countered Rob's blitz with a jab down the middle. That was pretty intelligent. Rob typically has great takedown defense, but that's more sprawling sense. So Du Plessis tripped him out instead. Against Strickland, committing with head kicks, body kicks, leg kicks, just mixing up attacks, mixing in takedowns as well. Jumping through with power strikes, stepping through a stance. And against Adesanya, countering the jab with the head kick, attacking the legs. Just constantly going for the takedown. Like, Du Plessis is really separating himself from not only the division, but from his former self. Again, Du Plessis is a guy that we all laughed at the thought of being champion. But now some people are picking him against Chimaev, and that would ultimately be a very exciting matchup, an insane matchup, to say the least. And I don't mind Du Plessis' chances against Khamzat, right? I do take him down, but I don't think Du Plessis will settle, right? I think Du Plessis is that guy that can scramble on and on and on really aggressively, and he's one of those guys that can match the intensity of Chimaev, and I think that would be a very, very interesting fight. Now, against guys like Nassourdine Imavov, Kyle Baralho, which are the two main matchups that he has coming up, I feel like Nassourdine will gas out against Du Plessis. I think he'll have moments. I think Nassourdine's very, very accurate on the feet, but there has been some issues in his cardio, and I do think Du Plessis will win that, but it will be messy. That will be messy. Kyle Baralho, on the other hand, that does interest me. That really does. Baralho has very, very good fight IQ. He has very underrated power. He's got a solid chin. He mixes up his strikes very well. He's got excellent grappling. I think, at least for people at middleweight, I think Baralho and Chimaev have the best chance at beating Du Plessis. But Du Plessis, hats off to him. He has made insane improvements, and that really does separate people. in the mixed martial arts world. There's being good, and then there's being good and improving. And Du Plessis has just shown that over the weekend. And it may not have been the most exciting fight, but Du Plessis was throwing overhand rights, he was throwing head kicks, he was throwing spinning elbows. It was Strickland who needed to push the pace. And I see a lot of people talking about how terrible Strickland looked, but Du Plessis, again, I said this about the rematch with Oliveira and Chandler. What was once a very difficult fight for Oliveira became a very dominant decision victory, and which was once a very difficult, hard-fought split decision for Du Plessis became a clear decision win. And just hats off. So anyway, guys, I just kind of wanted to bring attention to the fact that Du Plessis is improving heavily and just how impressive his performance was lately. So anyway, guys, just leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the discussion, just like and subscribe, you know the drill, and see you guys later.